Do you have a boring logo? If so, that's too bad, but I'm going to show you how to make it a little less boring in your videos using Adobe After Effects. So here's our sad, boring looking logo created in Adobe Illustrator. I brought it into After Effects and created a brand new composition. First, I'm going to convert this layer into a shape layer, which will allow me to convert it into a 3D shape. I'll right-click the layer with the logo and select Create Shapes from Vector Layer. This will create a new shape layer using the logo's vector shapes. Next, let's check our renderer to make sure that it's set for Cinema 4D. There's 3 different ways After Effects can render our video. We want Cinema 4D. Now let's add a white background layer in the 3D space to help the logo pop out. I'm going to create a new solid that's larger than the composition because I want it to be placed behind the logo without parts of it being cut off. So far there's nothing exciting about this logo yet, but we need to adjust some of the default 3D options, add lighting, and a camera for movement. Let's open up the geometry and material options for your shape layer. Under geometry options, select an angular bevel that's not too big, like 1 to 3. Also, set the extrusion to around 20. We're trying to just add some surfaces for light to reflect off the logo. Then under material options, make sure all the switches like cast shadows are on. Then crank up the specular settings to 100% and lower the metal setting to 0. This will help the highlights on the black logo pop out. So far we've got the logo ready, but we need to add some lighting to make the 3D effect more noticeable. You can play for hours with different lighting effects, but let me just quickly show you what I've done. I first created an ambient light just to give the some lighting to the composition. Then I added a white spotlight that shines directly on the logo, just a little bit above it. To make the logo cast a soft shadow, make sure Cast Shadows is turned on and adjust the shadow darkness and diffusion to your liking. Last, I added some color parallel lights to add variation to the background and more highlights to the logo. To keep the colors balanced, I created lights in cyan, magenta, and yellow, which when added together make white. Now that we've got the lighting set up, let's make the logo move a bit. First, we're going to make the logo move from the left to the right. I'm going to create a keyframe about 10 frames into the composition to set where I want the logo to rest. Then I'll create keyframes at the beginning and end to move it off screen. I'll set the keyframes to easy ease to make the motion a little smoother. I want some slight camera movement. I'll create a new camera and then set keyframes at the beginning and the end of the composition. Next, I'll take the first keyframe and type -500 after the X position to get 460. After Effects can do math calculations, so this is an easy way to make adjustments without having to set any arbitrary numbers. Then I'll go to the last keyframe and enter +500 after the X position, and that will get me 1460. Finally, I'll run a RAM preview to see what we've got so far. We started with a very boring logo, and we ended up with a professional looking 3D logo that doesn't look as boring, using some simple tricks in Adobe After Effects. Now you can create far better effects in After Effects and 3D models using the built-in Cinema 4D light, but this is enough to spice up an existing logo for any videos you're making for your website or social media channels. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and thanks for watching.